Hello. Today I have a bit of a different video that I want to make. Um, Not really gonna go too far in depth with it because I don't really think there's much point to. But this is just gonna be my thoughts um, with my Mario Kart history and some other things with the new game coming out. And of course, there's some stuff to go over. So, firstly, there's the new site which is mkcentral.com. Go here if you want to play competitive if you don't already have an account. It's changed from MarioKartCentral.com. So secondly, I guess I'll go into my background as a player. So first I started to play Mario Kart Wii launch in 2019, July, after I turned 12. I joined the server because one of my friends told me to. So I've been playing competitive Mario Kart ever since then, technically. The first major thing in Mario Kart Wii that happened to me was hitting silver, which I hit silver for the first time in June of 2020, when I was also still 12. I hit it at the end of Season 4, which I was very proud of because before then I was just a zero Mario player. So after I hit silver in Mario Kart Wii, I basically stayed the same skill level for about a year because I didn't realize that how to win or like how to gain MMR and how to become good at the game was just through mostly like time trials and stuff like that. I used to just spend hours in Mogi and I didn't really care about self-improvement, which is something I've changed now as I still don't think TTs are the best, but I've definitely put more time and effort into them as the game has gotten more advanced and whatnot. So this leads me to a shift. So firstly, I'd like to say thank you to Contingency, because this team that I play for Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So let me start. In June of 2021, I joined Contingency as a bagger. And then by the end of July, we started to play our first Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wars because everyone was just a bit burnt out from playing Mario Kart Wii, basically. So, and I believe it was August of 2021, we officially became a main clan. And we played our first MKU, being Mario Kart Universal Season 15, which that season was weird in itself, so I'm not really going to get into too much depth, too much information of like how that worked. But yeah, this was my first ever Mario Kart 8 Deluxe League. And actually, this is when I became a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe main at the time. I became a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe main because I was burnt out from Mario Kart Wii. I played it for about basically 2 years pretty consistently. And I didn't really improve too much in this time frame. So I became a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe main. And when I go to the MK Deluxe website, I have no idea what the table this would be, by the way. Okay. So at this point, this is basically when I started to play Lounge competitively. I started off in Iron, and I worked my way all the way up to. And this season, I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is where I'm gonna go back to my profile. Sorry, I'm sorry, jumping all over the place. Until I joined Solar, and then when I joined Solar, I stopped playing the game. Basically, a month after I joined Solar. It was the beginning of Season 6. And I just became super demotivated. I hit Silver 2, which for that time, it's actually like not that bad of a rank to hit. But I just became super demotivated. I didn't really want to play the game. I also was at the end of 8th grade at this time, which I know doesn't sound that crazy, but you know, 8th grade, you do as you do. Yeah, it was this table. I rage quit this one, by the way. I did not score 28, but I rage quit it because I was just mad. And so I stopped playing the game for a while. I stopped playing all Mario Kart for a while until the summer of 2022. I started to play Mario Kart Wii again. When I played Mario Kart Wii again, it was mostly just because it was a game that I was more interested in at the time. A lot of my friends played it still. So, and like, a Contingency stopped playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe this time, and I was really just not interested in it. I didn't like the DLC. I don't really like most of the DLC from 8 Deluxe, to be honest. But I'll get into it in a bit later. I didn't like the DLC that was added at the time, so I just stopped playing. So, not really a big deal. But then at the end, no, I played 8 Deluxe until, or I played Mario Kart Wii until basically the start of high school, which my first year of high school, I stopped playing basically all Mario Kart games pretty actively until I got back into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again, which was probably I joined After Dark at this time as well, like in the middle of 2022, but I didn't really do much for them, so it's not really worth mentioning. I stopped playing until basically the end of my second semester of high school, which would have been when I was a freshman. And I was still silver at this time because they gave a 2,000 MMR reset between season, or 2,000 MMR increase to basically all players from season 7 to season 8. So I went from like 3.6k to 5.8k, and then I hit gold for the first time this season. And I hit gold through this 2v2 and tier E event. Oh god, my teammate was a King Boo player. Forgot I had that launch name. And I got really invested into playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again, because I was quickly improving at the game, and that made me super happy. So then we go into season 9, and this is a lot more lounge than 8D, but I guess I'll mention with 8D, I came back to CY at this time, or Contingency, because we started to play the game together, which that made me super happy as a player because I love playing in CY. I was also a leader for CY, or I am still technically a leader. So that made me happy. So I played our first league back was Paradigm, and Paradigm in itself was really fun. We didn't do that well, I don't think, but I remember we'd be this team that was like D9 and we were considered like D15, D16 because no one knew who we really were. And we beat them by 8. I MVP'd that war, I remember, and I was super excited for that. So then we played our first MKU since rejoining, and we won D13, which is still one of my most fun experiences in the game, and any Mario Kart game, was this D13 win. Sorry, my PC's lagging a bit, so I don't know if my mic will lag. I'll probably have to watch this back. But this is when we won D13. I was super happy about this. This is probably my most favorite Mario Kart experience I've had in the game, was this D13 win. So I also became more interested in lounge at this time, and I started to play basically every day. During this time frame, I think my power went out for 11 days, so that was pretty awesome. It wasn't my power, my internet went out for 11 days. And then I also missed semifinals of MKU, so that was really scary because I was considered one of our better players, and I wasn't playing, and that made me pretty scared, but we sufficed, and we still won, so light work. I hit gold 2 for the first time at the end of May, and after hitting gold for the first time at I think it was beginning of May, and then I hit platinum June 20th, and this 4v4 squad queue, which was with a lot of people from CY, which was basically everyone from CY, and this was really cool. This was one of the most cool wins that I've got, was this platinum experience. I mean, I lost it, and then I didn't really understand how to keep platinum. And I had this little streak in the middle here where I was keeping platinum, but I don't really think it was really deserved of me, to be honest. I was really good in tier D at this time. I had an 88 average, and this is basically where most of people, I was like one of the best Americans who was playing tier D at this time, I would say. Basically every table has me scoring like pretty good, yeah, like 94 here. Yeah. So yeah, this was like pretty good time for me. And then at the end of the season, I also started, because I guess I'm just clinically insane or whatever. I started to wake up at like 5 a.m. to play Mogies before school. This is starting my sophomore year of high school. Which may explain why my grades tanked by a slight bit. I mean, I still had a 4.0, but you know how it goes. And then I hit platinum 2 for the first time at the end of the season, and I played some tier BCs. And this was still when the tier system was in place. And then I sat on platinum 2 because that's how I am. And then we go into season 10, which at this time CY started to die down activity-wise. So we weren't really playing that much apart from Mario Kart Universal. So this lounge season was very frustrating for me. I started 8.7k, and I basically stayed platinum this whole season. I had the one time frame where I hit Sapphire for the first time, which like hitting 10K was cool and all, but I didn't keep it. And that really frustrated me that I couldn't keep Sapphire for more than one event. So I played one tier B and I lost. And then I never got back to this for the rest of the season. And that really, really frustrated me. And then at this time, the launch key was also introduced, so I could play way more often now, which was fun for me. Then we get to season 11, which was a very weird season for me, I should say. At the start, I played quite actively until, I believe it was May. Yeah, I played quite actively until middle of May, and then tests started to show up. And then I just wasn't really interested in the game, so I stopped playing for a while. I started to make YouTube videos up this time, somewhere around this time, I don't really know where. And then I hit Sapphire, which I went on then I started to stream to YouTube actually at this time. I went on a bit of a lounge grind for like the last part of the season, where I think from, especially this point on, August 10th to, I think it was August 14th, I think I played like 50 Mogies, because I'm, it's just how I am. But I hit Sapphire 2 for the first time this season, which was really awesome. This is this was a deserved win. I played it at 6 in the morning. Damn, really? Okay. I don't remember doing that. But this was such a fun win for me. This is probably one of my favorite wins as well, because it was a top 2 overall and I MVP'd. I MVP'd to hit Sapphire 2. So to me, this proved to me that I deserved it. Obviously, my average score this season was not super great, but it is what it is. Season 12, this is the last time I've actively played this game, was basically this little stretch from December. And then like at this stretch last year during junior year was pretty active from September. I played about, I think 80 Mogies is what it was in this time frame. And I hit gold for the first time in over a year, which this frustrated the hell out of me. You don't understand how mad I was. That's why I took a 3-day break, I think. But then I went on a climb afterwards to Sapphire, and I actually only left Sapphire one time in this time frame. And I also hit Sapphire 2 again. But I only kept it for one event, so it doesn't really mean that much, but this was still cool. I also really liked my lounge name at this time, but I just keep changing it because I couldn't get Caden. If I can't get Caden, then I don't really see a point of like keeping my name. But at Mario Kart Wii Lounge, my name is just Caden. And then the season is the reason why I'll go into a bit of detail of why I've stopped playing this game actively. Firstly, I just wasn't having a lot of fun with the game. And especially this year, where to me it just seemed very boring. There hasn't seemed to be a lot of reason to play. In itself, I feel like I'm the exact same as a player. My average score did decrease, but it was like, I had like a 60 at the start of the season. But as a player, I felt like I was playing fine, and the game just felt like, to me, this game is very frustrating to play at a competitive level, especially when you're a high competitive player, or whenever you're especially like high up as a competitive player. It's a very frustrating game to play. Like at my peak, I am basically top like 3%. I would say I'm actively like top 5% in this game when I'm actively playing. But this game is probably one of the most frustrating grinds I've ever been on in my life. There's a lot of times where it just feels like you're losing because it's undeserved, and it's very frustrating to play. So I haven't really seen much reason to play. The last time I played was at the start of this MKU season. And then I stopped playing, I think basically first day of May is the last. I haven't played this game in over a month. I'm going to play some tomorrow, I think, with one of my friends. But yeah, it's just been a very frustrating game to play at a high level. And putting all the pressure on yourself to consistently score well doesn't really bode well for your mental. But I will close this video with a few words that I wanted to say. This game, with the end of this game, with the close of this game, it basically concludes a part of my life. It concludes basically my high school years. When I'm gonna reflect on high school, I'm going to remember a lot of this game in particular. This game was very impactful to me, and it's the first game that I've really put the time in to get pretty good at. I've only spent about 3K hours in this game. I've probably only really spent like probably 2K improving at this game, but for the amount of hours that I have in this game, I would say I'm a pretty solid player, especially considering a lot of the top players have like about 10K hours or more at this point in time in this game's lifespan. So I'm very proud of myself for how far I've came in this game. This game has been very frustrating to play, but due to the servers I've been in, the clans I've been in, with GV and Contingency, both of those servers have really been great to be a part of. Team Texas for Regional Rumble, which is the last time I was pretty active in this game, I would say. Because I wanted to do really good in Regional Rumble, which we didn't do the best, but I had a lot of net difficulties, which was also really frustrating. There was this one match where we were up like 50 when I was playing, and then we had to sub someone in because my net died, and he only scored like 12. But I mean, it happens. He's newer to the game, so it's gonna happen. Obviously, like it's just completely different skill levels. It's no blame to him. And I was probably like the best player still playing at this point, to be honest. Not to ego, but I was probably the best player for us. But yeah, that was pretty frustrating to lose, but I still really enjoyed the Team Texas experience. Everyone on Team Texas is really awesome and cool. So as I say, as I've been saying, this game means a lot to me. However, with Mario Kart World coming out, I do want to dedicate myself to it for a while if I find the game fun. If I don't find the game fun, I'm probably just gonna play a lot of MKWii. At this point, I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart Wii within the past month. I've been finding that game really fun to play. Of course, Wi-Fi is down right now, which is super awesome, but I'm gonna get my Switch 2 on June 9th, hopefully, and then I'm going to try to grind Mario Kart World. The goals I have for Mario Kart World are quite simple. Is that, first of all, enjoy the game. If I'm not enjoying the game, I'm not gonna play the game. That's just sort of how I am as a player, as a person. If I don't enjoy something, I'm not gonna stick with it. So enjoy the game is goal number 1 for me. Goal number 2 is to try to get my first regional top or even worldwide top. I've never had one in any of my Mario Kart games. I think I've used to be close on Dolphin Shoals in like 2022 before I quit the game because they were very weak at that time, and I was pretty decent on the track. But I'm no longer really that close to them, I believe. So. And then goal number 3 would hopefully just become a good online player again. Online is where I would say my specialty is. I don't really know if that means anything, but I've been on a Division 2 team basically over the last year and a half, really, in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I understand how the game works at a high level competitively. I love the games, which is why I continue to play them. These games, to me, are the most fun in the world. I don't have any other game where it's like I can sink my teeth into them and grind them for a long period of time. There's no other game that I think I even have 1,000 hours in, apart from Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Those are the only 2 games I think I have over 1,000 hours in. I love both the games, but with Mario Kart World coming out, you know, it's the end of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for me. I don't really plan on playing this game anymore, but with that being said, I want to thank the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe community. I want to thank people I've met in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I want to thank the people who have supported me in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Because it's been a grind, and it's been very frustrating at times. I've been really frustrated. I've been a very selfish person at times due to it, but yeah, I love these games, and I continue to try my best every single day when I play these games, and I just want the best for the community. I want the community to continue to be strong, and I want the games to continue to grow. I want there to be an active player base, and I'm excited for the new starts with Mario Kart World. So thank you for watching this video. There's not much to say in this video, apart from just goodbye to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Hello Mario Kart World. Thanks for the memories, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.